Hello and welcome to everybody who is attending the webinar today. There are many of us and even more to come. And we have a lot of panelists to speak to you today, 7 to be exact, from all over the world, all 5 of our regions. I'm your host, so to speak, your moderator today, and the co-facilitator of this program, Dr. Anne Hilty, BPW Hong Kong. And I will be introducing each of the speakers one by one. So let's begin. We're going to start today with Elizabeth Benham, known by most of us as Liz, who hails from NFBPWC. They have a long and complicated name, but that's BPW in USA. Liz has been twice the Federation president there, but even more, she has been our international president, 2008 to 2011. So without anything further, Liz, I'll turn it over to you to share your vision of the future of BPW with us.
Thank you, Anne. Thanks for having this continuing wonderful vision of inclusive discussion for our worldwide members, and thank you very much for having me on this platform. As a passionate member for over 35 years, I can speak from experience, having served continuously on many levels. We as women want to use our time, our money, and our passion to make a difference. So as members of this organization, it is important to know what we stand for, especially in today's crowded world of many organizations with varied issues. Well, BPW International has a valid mission statement that succinctly summarizes that. And it is that BPW develops the business, professional, and leadership potential of women on all levels. And we do that through advocacy, education, mentoring, networking, skill building, and economic empowerment programs and projects. So it is my sincere wish that we scale up and firmly deliver on what we promise in this statement. So let's further look at each item in this mission statement on how we can accomplish this. Regarding advocacy, we have permanent United Nations reps at all of the UN agencies in New York, Geneva, Vienna, and Paris, and contractual partnerships through the UN Global Compact, the Women's Empowerment Principles, and the International Trade Center. All were established during my term as president to support us with programs on business and our advocacy efforts. The question then is, how are we doing with these valuable connections? What kind of visibility do we have in the work? And more importantly, how are we rating on performance on the committed activities with our partners? We promise education in our mission. As an organization of business and professional women, are we providing members at business programs? Are we providing professional programs? These are possible and can be accessible for all members. On mentoring, we have a rich mix of young BPWs and seasoned members. So it's imperative that we share intergenerational mentoring for all. There are many tools and programs to accomplish this in a fun but valuable way, a true mutual benefit, and very important for succession planning, actually essential. On our networking, let's have a true networking platform using all of the modern online cost-effective tools to share our best practices, develop our worldwide friendships because we want and need some fun, with easy, regular communication to bond us, and to include business-to-business networking and shared tips and inspiration. These are some of the areas I see where we can provide value to our members, underscored with inclusivity, diversity, equal access, pride, and professional leadership. But as in all professional organizations, we must begin to lay out and have an expectation of clear goals and results to keep building on. Communication is the major key to be provided constantly to keep us informed of all activities and progress. In my view, as a 90-year-old organization of business and professional women, I want and expect smooth, professional, and business-like operational services, as well as accountability from our elected international officers delivering on their commitment and their mandates. These deliverable factors will inspire our voluntary worldwide organization to exponentially work together on our common goals to build the leading worldwide organization that I want to be a part of and that I know many are. Everywhere, everyone is in a new junction of relevance. We're at a new junction of relevance. Our value, our functioning services, and the deliverances thereof will be questioned now more than ever moving forward. I believe we can and must urgently adapt and scale up to deliver far more value and have greater visibility, to be respected, sustainable, and to make a difference. My hope and vision is that collectively we can work to make this a true reality. Thank you.
Let's try that again. Thanks, Liz, for your vision that you've shared with us. And now we'd like to hear from Dr. Yasmin Darwich, BPW Mexico, who is our immediate past international president, as you all know, and also co-facilitator of this webinar series with myself. So Yasmin, the floor is yours.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening for everybody. Thank you for being here today. Well, as Liz said, after this year, 42 years belonging to BPW International, we have a clear idea what we want for this organization. During all these years, I can let you know that every time that I have the opportunity to work with the international past presidents, since Rosemary Miquel from Switzerland, and then the other past international presidents. Then I have this opportunity also because I was part of the nursing school in La Paz, which is the biggest project in BPW International. And we receive all the international presidents. And I have an extraordinary mentor, Professor Sylvia Salazar. That is why it's so important for me, the mentoring program and the education of our members through role models. And that is why I always was thinking in this kind of webinars that, thanks to Anne, this is now a reality. Because as you can see today, I am not very good in technology. I had a lot of problems to log in this morning. And but having someone that we can admire, that we can follow her advices is very important. I just remember, for good or for bad, when I took office as club president in my club. I live in the north of Mexico, in the middle of the desert. Professor Salazar said to me, don't worry. At that time, my daughters was like 9 and 12, something like this. I said, oh, so much work. Don't worry. You just think 5 minutes every day in your club. oh my God, it was no 5 minutes. This 5 minutes always is 2 hours, 3 hours, because it's so much to do for your members. So for me, what I want from the future of BPW, that I really want, it's that our members are more engaged. The meaning of the organization, the spirit of the organization. That is why also I am very attached to the history of BPW International. I love the history of every past president, including not only, of course, our founder, Lena, that did an amazing work in the worst time. If you realize that it was in the middle, before, in the middle, and after the World War, and what we are doing now. Why we cannot have these opportunities for women? Why we cannot do more every day for raise more members for the organization, engage all of them. I always wondering why our members didn't invite their daughters, their friends, it's incredible. You know, my 2 daughters are BPW since they born. So, but this is the future that I want for BPW. That our members are really engaged of the meaning of BPW International, that we have really a successful leadership, and this can be continuous, because if we have leaders that know nothing about the meaning of BPW, are not useful, really. You can be a leader. In fact, let me tell you something that I recently been thinking. I am a medical doctor, and I never heard my patients ask me, are you a good leader? No, they want me to be responsible, professional, honest. So this stamp that be leader, I think that we all are in what we are doing. So please engage with the roots of BPW, with our governance, try to engage your members, try to use these videos that Anne and I produce for all of you. And let's try to have a better BPW International. If you don't have if you don't know your roots, if you don't know your rights, you will never perform as a real BPW member. So you are in the best women organization in the world. Let's try to do the best for this wonderful organization. Thank you.
Thank you, Yasmin. And we will now go on to our next panelist, who is Neelima Basnet from BPW Nepal, who is our current Young BPW Representative International. Neelima.
Namaste to all our BPW sisters. What a day, a perfect day to talk about leadership and future of BPW as we celebrate International Youth Day with the theme Youth Engagement for Global Action. We live in a world where people are ready to do anything for name, fame, money, and power. And there are many institutions that provide platform for women to achieve it. But the only platform that a woman needs right now is the one which teaches women to earn respect through leadership and action. Globally, only 24.3% of all national parliamentarians were women as of February 2019, a slow increase from 11.3% in 1995. As of June 2019, 11 women are serving as head of state and 12 are serving as head of government out of 197 countries. This shows the status of women around the world and the huge gap that we need to fulfill. Even after 100 years of establishment of BPW, women are still facing discrimination on the basis of gender. And this is the reason why we need to continue the legacy of our founder, Dr. Lena Madison Phillips, who founded BPW in the year 1919, with the aim to empower leadership potential of all women. Personally, I joined BPW with the expectation to get a chance to groom myself to be a better leader, because there are many organizations that are there for charity, service orientation, but BPW is a volunteering international organization which stands for advocacy. Because I believe that only with the right policies and equal representation of women in the decision-making level, we can change the status of women around the world. My journey in BPW started in the year 2013, when I was looking for a platform where I could be the collective voice which was leading towards the global revolution. Being born and raised in Nepal, where I have seen the consequences of civil war, climate change, human rights violation, gender discrimination, and corruption, made me wonder what I could do to prevent it. With the frustration of all this going around the world, all the wrong things going around the world, in the year 2016, I went to United Nations Youth Assembly looking for my answer from the world leaders of United Nations member states. But I found out that there is nothing that they can do, unless youth come forward and demand for it and be a part of the change. So that is why in the year 2017, I did run for BPW International Board, hoping that I could inspire the youth around the world to be the change that we wanted to see. In last 3 years, I have met amazing BPW young members who can speed up this process to achieve what we are fighting for. The only thing that we need to do is hear them, give open opportunities for them to do better with all the member mentoring that we can provide from BPW and our partner organizations. The future of BPW is in the hand of these young members who will continue the fight without losing hope and inspire the future generation, like I was inspired by our senior members. As we are gathered here right now today, virtually, this very moment, there are many people around the world who are victims of war, poverty, climate change, sexual and racial violences, sex trafficking, gender discrimination. And this is why I believe that there is so little time and so much to do. And we all need to work together to prevent it from wherever we are. And this is the reason why we all need to empower each other so that this world is a safer place for everyone. And to achieve, we need to be a part of BPW with a passion and a vision to bring change locally, nationally, and globally. And that can be done by only electing the right leaders who will bring us together and guide us into a right direction. So with this, I would like to thank our organizer, Dr. Ann Hilty and Yasmin, for coming up with this initiative in the International Youth Day. And I hope to see you in all the other webinars as well. Thank you so much.
My apologies for not muting myself, even as I ask you all to remain on mute. So thank you, Neelima. Okay, so next we'll hear from Dr. Maggie Kigozi of Uganda BPW, particularly in Kampala, the capital city. And Maggie was the founding president of her club, which is the first club in Uganda. Maggie?
Thank you very much, Anne, and thank you for the speakers who've been on before me. You have brought up some I am Maggie Kigozi. I am wearing a BP at that wonderful conference, whether you got one of these. I thought I'd wear it today just to show off. Yes, what are we looking for? We really want the dreams of BPW, as they were right from the beginning, a global network of both professional and business women, which enables and leads formation of national groups that also move in the same direction. So that is what we would like to see. And although it exists and it's supposed to exist, we would love to know one another more. Now that COVID is here, I hope, ladies, you're all safe. Please stay safe. But we would like to, COVID has shown us one thing, that communication can be so much easier. So we would really love to know all the members of BPW in all various countries. And it is quite easy now, so that if we are doing business, If I know I'm coming to Malaysia, for example, I can know who is dealing in the equipment that I need and or product, and we can begin to do business, begin the discussion online. And then if we get a chance to travel later, that will be another possibility. But actually, even business can be done online. So I think the issue of taking online meetings of all kinds more seriously, we really do not have a choice. We cannot travel. You'd have to be in quarantine. If you came to Uganda, you'd have to stay in quarantine for 2 weeks. And then you go back to your own country, you take another 2 weeks in quarantine. So traveling actually right now, and no one knows how long Corona is going to be a problem. So it is so critical, and I think you have identified some of the issues, the previous speakers, the advocacy issues. We need guidance, we need training. How do we go about handling things like, for example, the pay gap? Every year in Uganda, we took it from BPW International that we do a pay gap walk. And yes, we don't get so much interest in Uganda. Nobody thinks they have a pay gap, and yet it is at least 40% according to studies. So gender-based violence, learning, mentorship, these are things that the previous speakers have talked about, but very much the issue of mentorship. There are such wonderful ladies who are members of this organization. How do we get to them to speak to young BPW in Uganda, for example? And we have an excellent group of young BPW. They would love to learn from our international ladies, but they don't get that opportunity. We are getting them local people here in Uganda who do share with them. We have such great partnerships, as you heard from Liz at the beginning. We have great partnerships. And actually, those partnerships are beginning to do more for the country, for the women and business and professional women than the BPW. For example, ITC. ITC has worked with us on so many women's issues. They're actually helping us do better business, procurement and everything. And these are our partners. They are the partners of BPW International. So we'd very much like to make sure that we don't leave out BPW as we deal with ITC. The UN Sustainable Development Goals, these are another one with the UN Women Principles. We as BPW International should be taking the lead. But again, we have sort of allowed UN Women and UN to take a lead on these. And we need to take back that power and be able to be BPW Uganda International for all our members in all the various countries. The other one, and this will be the last one, I'm speaking too much, and don't kill me, the conferences. We have lovely conferences. I've told you this is from Korea, but often we can't afford to go. I want to talk for my African members, where it really is expensive. The one that was going to be in the US, they'll probably not be able to attend. So even if the whole conference could be online right now today, as we are suffering from COVID-19, but even after that, parts of it, the opening ceremony, the dinner, the award dinner, parts of it could be online. So we are also attending. Everybody, every member is able to attend. We want to see our friendly organization back. There is a lot of competition for positions. Can we make our conference fun again? And can more members be able to attend? I will stop there, Anne. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And I look forward to meeting more of the ladies who are online today.
Thank you so much, Maggie. And next we'll hear from Thanaa Khasawneh. And Thanaa, if I have mispronounced that, I'm very sorry, but I think I'm close. Who is with BPW Amman in Jordan, and she serves as their executive director. So she's the one who actually coordinates everything. Thanaa?
Thank you. And on this occasion, I would like to wish you all happy anniversary, happy 19th anniversary of BPW International. And I just want to emphasize on a couple of points that we all actually, I'm very proud and honored to say I am representing the Jordan chapter or the Jordan BPWA because I am representing the highest impactful women in Jordan, of Jordan, and who are really striving and trying very hard to really empower women economically and change the numbers and increase the percentage of women participating in the workforce. And you know, it's not going to be easy in such a region. And on behalf of them, I wish you all a happy anniversary. My thoughts will be focused in three directions. I will start by saying it's all about the power of our network, our community. If we look at the screen today, we see really highly professional women leaders, women business owners, women professionals who are really trying to change the world. And as our ancestors and our founders have worked very hard in the past years, decades actually, to ensure that we are changing the perception about women and the women participation and encourage more women, I think it's our role and it's our role to be able to continue that journey and ensure we're taking things forward. It's a very leading and innovative organization that has done a lot of inspiration along the years. And now it's our role to be more innovative in the way that we are foreseeing our future as BP International. And some of the thoughts that I think about is really, number one, is how can we really utilize the power of our network? You will always hear me saying the power of network, because utilizing the power of the network is about connecting with each other. Is how can we complement each other across the countries? Today with COVID-19 challenges and the pandemic across all the world, a lot of women are losing their businesses and losing their jobs. Unless we stand together and we start cooperating on the level of the organization, we will be able to help each other to progress and excel. So I think this is number one, is how can we really utilize, and I do foresee a lot of potential. For example, in Jordan, we have just launched our export unit for women. And we really would like to operate with all the offices across BPW, where we can really start trading across countries and trade missions and so on. So this is on the first number. The second point is around how can we evolve and elevate our organization. We can evolve, I think a couple of the ladies have mentioned the mentoring and coaching. With the power and with the expertise of our members across the globe, we can together start doing some kind of exchange programs, of mentoring programs, where we can actually link women with each other and really support specifically. And that's why I was very impressed with Neelima's speech, because at the end of the day, the youth are the future leaders. And I would like to really look into BPW International today, that we are preparing the future leaders of BPWA. The BPW International. So that's our role, and how can we really get our daughters, get our younger generation be more involved in programs that have some kind of exchange around the globe. Today, as BPW, as I said, it should actually be playing an impactful role in contributing to the women empowerment, specifically economic, definitely from my side, because I believe, and we believe in Jordan, once you economically empower women, you actually directly have empowered them across on social level, political level, and so on. Also, we would like to really try to really benefit and utilize some of the benefits that we have already across generations, and representation on the UN and so on. So we have to be a reliable and preferred partner for so many projects that we can come together and really recreate it in order for us to create the change that we would like to see in the world for women, and play some kind of advocacy and governance role in order for us to be working together at a different level. Another point that would come to my mind is when I say the power of a network, I think that we are not utilizing it to the max. I'm very thankful to Dr. Ann for all the efforts that you have done in the past few months. I think you have just reminded us how powerful we are and how much we can do a big change. And I would like to ask the support of all BPW across the world. For example, if you are doing a pledge, I would like to be part of that. And yesterday, we've launched a pledge about You Can for Women. And I would like to see all BPW around the world participating in that. I would like to link my members with international BPW members because there's a lot of lost opportunities, in my opinion, and we really need to start as BPW, really ensure that people understand BPW was the first to empower women, was the first to voice out what women need in 1930 with our founders. And today we will still and keep going, and we will keep doing much more and much better. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Thanaa. Next, we have another young speaker, and that's Valerie Lim from BPW Singapore. She serves currently as the first vice president there. Valerie?
Hi, everyone. So my vision for the future of BPW is that we embrace the spirit and organization of a startup. I've been very fortunate to be able to have worked in several startups and also launch a few of my own. And I think going forward with what we have an amazing organization with so many people that are so influential, have great skills and great knowledge. And it'd be really, really nice if we can all have a bit of a more flat structure where we can each talk to each other. Whether you're at exco level, whether you're at a member level, but the idea is that way we engage each other better, whether it's a new member, someone who's a bit more senior. When you have that I think bridges the gap for a lot of mentoring, for a lot of the education, and even I think cross-culturally, that is how we then build bonds and build bridges. So ideally, I would love to see more cross-cultural, more cross-country, cross-everything collaboration. And the way I see it is like we are a 90-year-old organization that has so much power and influence. Individually, we have that. And as an organization, we have that too. But we need to remember that we need to reach out to a new generation who have been so used to the speed of connectivity. And, I think the pandemic right now has shown us that technology is sort of replacing our face-to-face. And, I think Dr. Ann has done an amazing job of bringing us all together, despite the distances and the time difference, to have this kind of networking on the online platform, replacing, I would say, the face-to-face. And because of that, we can see each other's faces. It is basically the best thing we can get right now. It's, we can't get on an airplane, but I know who you are, how you're reacting, and you can see exactly my facial expressions. And this is what we need to do to engage people, on all levels. Yes, we've had to learn, and there has been a steep learning curve, but isn't that why we've joined the network? Because we all we want to professionally develop ourselves. And also the reason why I say we have to embrace the spirit and organization of a startup. Every one of us, we're all multi-talented. And I think in a startup, when you are working in a startup, you just tend to have many hats. And we're all women, we're all strong super women, and we know that we are able and capable of doing so many things. So I would like to see everyone take on a little bit of everything. You do have your specialties for sure, but in a sense, we can all have innovation that way, because if you do know a little bit of something, you can always help and reach out to someone else. And again, that's how we build strong bonds with each other, inter-club and within your own club. Yeah, I think Thanaa also touched on it in a sense where we can encourage trade and business growth across country, across the different clubs. And it'd be really nice, again, if we could just reach out quickly. I understand the need for protocol and tradition, but if we want innovation and we want to remain ahead of the curve and ahead of trends, we do need to innovate and keep up with the times. Thank you.
Thanks, Valerie. And in true young fashion, super fast. Okay. So we have one last speaker in our panel, and hailing from BPW Europe, we have Carmen Taheny. Anyone who attended the regional conference last year would know very well Carmen, because she was at that time the national president for BPW Ireland, where the conference was held. So Carmen, the floor is yours.
Hi everyone. I was honoured to be asked to contribute in this company. No surprise that there is some overlap in our vision of BPW, but also we have much to learn from each other. This is one of the joys of BPW, bringing together many voices for a common purpose and a mutual learning. In many aspects of our lives, we've had to pause and consider how we move forward in a post-COVID world. Or will it be a COVID world for some time to come? It is no different now, as we now pause within BPW and question our vision for this venerable institution 90 years on. BPW, the organisation that advocates for women. Underpinning my vision for BPW is that we have a clear brand that is recognisable as the organisation that advocates for women on every level, for women's independence, for women in leadership positions, and for women creating and running business. A brand that is so recognised and recognisable that we need never again have to explain who we are or what we do. We will be Apple is to computing and Carlsberg is to beer, as we move into a future that will be centred on technology and resilience. We already have all that could possibly be necessary. We can now need to leverage the might of BPW in a coordinated way. And my vision is that that our reach and our relevance is to cement our brand. This is my vision for brand BPW, our reach. So our reach is both how we communicate internally and how we spread our message externally to improve the lives of women everywhere. My vision is that we continue to enjoy the nurturing friendships forged within our clubs, but that we will leverage any and every communication tool available to us to fuel the exchange of lively ideas, to support each other across borders, and to market our message robustly under the BPW brand. Yes, I know that we do a lot of this now, but do we effectively communicate what we do outside the organisation? Do we effectively market what BPW has to offer? By effectively communicating and marketing the work that we do, we will strengthen our brand, attract more members, which in turn will strengthen our ability to advocate more widely for women. We have every reason to be proud of our work, our achievements, and the talent of our members, and the possibilities in a world where all women are equal participants. I'm very happy to shout about this. Key to my vision for BPW is relevance. It was fantastic to see BPW mobilise to support each other and the wider community in the face of COVID-19. In Ireland, we used new communication tools to join our members in their own homes during lockdown. I know that our weekly virtual catch-ups and targeted information webinars were a lifeline to our members who were isolated. Some of our old structures were no longer relevant, but we adapted quickly and stayed relevant. We will continue to need to do this in a changing world. We'll need to continually assess what our members need and address these needs as we move forward. In Ireland, we see a less structured workplace, growing isolation as more work from home, and increasing economic pressures. Unfortunately, we see women bearing the brunt of this economic fallout of this pandemic. And I worry that the huge ground that we have made up over the years in closing the pay gap, developing gender equality in the workplace, may well be eroded. Did we go to sleep in 2020 and wake up in the 1950s? We cannot let this happen. My vision for BPW is that we will deliver relevant support through multiple channels to ensure that all our women will be more than just coping in this new world, but excelling, more than just reacting to change, but thriving, and more than just dealing with another problem, but leading in the way in finding an innovative solutions. My vision for BPW will be in partnership with these women. more than just another women's organisation. BPW, the organisation for women in this new world. As I said in the beginning, there was bound to be an overlap in our vision, which as it should be. And I look forward to working together to achieve all that is possible within BPW. And I'd like to say thank you to Anne and Yasmin for organising.
Thanks so much, Carmen, and thanks to all of our presenters. Wonderful to hear all of your visions and some overlap, yes, but a lot of different perspectives as well. So a very nice mix. We're now going to turn for our last 15 minutes to a series of commenters who I've asked in advance to make some comments. So first of all, I'd like to welcome Sylvia Perry from BPW UK and one of our past international presidents. So Sylvia, if you would join us now and give us your ideas on the vision or the future of BPW.
My vision after half a century in this organisation remains very much all what you've heard today. I want BPW to be immediately recognisable to an organisation that's held in the greatest respect by governments and global organisations. The organisation, I believe, is not only for women's equality, but their fulfilment. And it's a twofold purpose. Members gain, learn from others, develop self-confidence and leadership skills, and plot their way to gain the experience and the openings to reach the top, whatever they choose to do in life. But on the other hand, they should give their experience, their knowledge, mentor and train, and provide a background of support to everyone who needs it. And I would like to say, and I think it came up today, no one in this organisation should just be there for what they can get out of it from fame, but to work for women everywhere, to have the freedom and rights they deserve.
Thanks so much, Sylvia. We'd like to ask now for some comments from Pinella Bombaci, who is from FIDAPA or BPW in Italy, and is currently serving as the regional coordinator in Europe. Pinella?
Thank you. Thank you, Anna. And I would like to confirm that my name is Pinella. Anna Wicks will be the next coordinator. In this moment is Pinella. And you asked me in a minute, maximum 2 minutes, my vision. Yes, recently, as you know, I put on my profile on Facebook and the page of BPW Europe a video to celebrate the 9th anniversary of BPW. And I received the following email from an European president of the Eastern Europe. She wrote me, "Dear Pinella, you have to be absolutely proud of your achievements in BPW Europe. This video perfectly shows the tremendous load of your work, passion, and your involvement towards BPW. Pinella, probably you know that it is not so easy to find women like you. Let Anu keep in good order all what you have started." So, I think that in this sentence, in this email, there is my vision for BPW. First, sense of belonging, so that our achievements increase our proud to work for women around the world. Second, tremendous work. A woman who has in BPW a position of leader has to be aware that she has to dedicate a big part, a large part of her life to BPW. Passion and involvement. These are the values. These are the secret. This is the secret to involve other members and to obtain the result you wait. Fourth, the value of continuity. And I am sure that the next coordinator, Anne Weeks, will share with me this important value. In other words, I think that without the pillars, without the values of BPW, there is not a future for us. But I am sure we will continue in this road. Thank you. I respect the minute.
Thank you, Panella. And you must have logged in on Anu's information, but I just changed it. Now it reads Pinella Bombachi. Okay. So next we'd like to hear from another of our young members. We'll ask Taheny Vari, who is the Young BPW representative in Finland, to speak. Taheny?
Thank you. Here I am. Well, thank you for all the panelists. There was very many good points. And well, I don't know where to start exactly, but I would like to make some points. As a young member, it has been very fascinating to be engaged on these different kind of groups, which have been assembled by Dr. Anne, Dr. Yasmin, and Neelima, where we have discussed the different topics or done things in practice, like BPW Goes Digital, where young members are helping seasoned members to use different network platforms and so on. Well, just like Valerie said, we shouldn't get stuck in one or two things that seems like our own, but just boldly do different things. And I would like to point out that our young people have a different world than previous generations. By this, I mean that in the past, people, for example, subscribed their local magazine and continued as a subscribers without questioning their choices over the years. And that has been changing very much. It's now very rare that our generation remains loyal to a single provider or service or product. We met to tender for different services providers, including different organizations also. And therefore, it's not enough that we convince the person to join us for once. We have to make sure that they keep choosing us for on and on. And so flexibility would be the key word. And I also agree with Carmen, who brought up the brand, because the brand is now the thing people get attached. So that it's important that we have a strong brand. Thank you.
Thank you, Taheny. Okay, now we go to Africa and specifically BPW Nigeria for some comments from the Federation President, Yinka Ajibola. Yinka?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I want to first thank Annie and Yasmin for making this platform available. What do I want for the future of BPW? You see, in a place Nigeria, there are lots of women organizations, but one great advantage that BPW has is that we belong to an international organization. And it makes a lot of difference when you say you are a member of such an organization, and not just an international organization, an organization that's been around for 90 years. What do I want for the future of such an organization? You see, there must be some major advantages that such an organization will bring to whoever, belongs to it. We're business and professional women, and our businesses are very important to us. So I want a BPW where COVID-19, although it has come with a lot of challenges, it has also brought a lot of positive things. we're having this meeting now because of COVID-19. These platforms were available before, but we didn't use them as much as we're using them now. So I want a situation where our members are better connected in every area, in their businesses, in their projects, in relationships through these platforms. I think BPW should have, a platform or a hub where the different businesses can find. You can say, okay, I want somebody who is doing a business in China or in Nepal, this type of business, and you can connect using the BPW network. It does make a lot of difference, and I'd like to see a future where such connections are not only easy, they are available, and you can make them work. Another thing I'd like for the future of BPW is a great improvement in our twining. Right now, I don't know how well it works, but I believe in this dispensation, it can even work better. When we come together, generally, we find out that different countries have similar challenges. And quite a number of these challenges for women, or some of the projects for women, they have been handled by some successfully. And when we share experiences, we can do much better. So I'm looking forward to a future where we can share experiences better, use them more effectively, relate better, and have many things working on our favor by the fact that we are international organization. Things that other organizations that do not have that international flavor, things that they would find difficult to do, I want us to be able to do them very easily. So if I'm looking for something to do, I can go to somewhere in a maybe website and say, okay, this is a group, this is the platform that can achieve it. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Yinka. Now we'd like to hear from BPW Mexico, Semiramis Casas, who is the current Federation President there. Semiramis? Be sure to unmute.
Hi everybody. Thank you for sharing all this opinion. Thank you all the panelists. And what I have to say is that our role to strengthen BPW is only by inspiration the younger women and to promote more support by inclusion, innovation, and adaptation to this new world that we are living right now with new rules and new characteristics. And one thing that it's very important for me is to do it with a lot of passion and promoting all the work we have been doing during previous years, and also promoting networking and mentoring. That's my opinion. Okay, thank you.
Semiramis, thank you. And our final commenter today is Kim Underhill from BPW Singapore, where she serves as the president of the Singapore BPW Association and works with Valerie there. And before you give us your comments, Kim, I want to just mention that she's actually scheduled to be an upcoming speaker for us next month in Leadership in BPW. So return and join us for that. Kim?
Thank you so much. Thank you all panelists and everybody that who has shared so far. It's been very insightful for me, coming from Singapore to be able to listen from all the messages from internationally. Where BPW Singapore is concerned, what we are currently doing in looking into our future is, first thing is to strengthen and grow the BPW brand. We've been here 42 years, we want to be here forever. So there's a lot of work that we need to do. And someone mentioned about succession planning. That is definitely one goal that we're looking at, because for us to be able to survive, to still exist in 50 or 100 years from now, we need to have younger blood. We need younger members to come on. When we talk about younger members, how do we draw them? Not only do we want professional, we want people who are passionate. And for young members, they also want to see some fun in an association. The traditional very seriousness in our women association, some of that needs to shift a little bit in order for us to be able to attract more younger, more dynamic women, right? Looking at Singapore as a small country, we currently have 21 different nationalities in such a small associations, which I think it's something that we value a lot. The first thing that I always ask, when we want to attract new members, key important is not what the members is looking for. Key important is what values can we bring to the young people? How can we make a difference in their career path, in their professional directions, professional journey? We talk about mentoring, right? We talk about mentoring, we talk about networking. So we are putting a lot of focus in terms of the future of the association through bringing more values to these women. We find ways to support them professionally. We also find ways to support them through having talks and events that surrounds their family as well. Not forgetting that a lot of these professional women are family women, right? So we surround ourselves in that aspect in order to be able to attract the young mothers, who have recently returned to work. How can we support them professionally and get them to be passionate about association? The 4 C's that I always use with all my members when they first came on board is we want to make sure that we are always in connection. We want to communicate all the time. We want to make sure that we collaborate. And most importantly, all members must have the heart and passions to want to contribute. Because gone are the day when associations expect the EXCO member to do all the planning and organizing and then wait for members to take part in our events. So today what we do is to draw members. We encourage new members or members who brings members to come in with ideas, to contribute to what they think they need. How can we do better? So it's a very two-way approach in growing our BPW here in Singapore. I mean, in terms of, so for the way I look at the future is all about having very strong network, making sure that we are constantly providing values. Valerie shared, technologies is one thing, innovation is one thing. I'm somebody that is so far behind technology, but then we have someone like Valerie and a team of very young BPW members here in Singapore, and they are helping the pioneer, or they are helping a lot of us professionals on how to adapt and engage with the younger members. And through them, we're depending a lot of our young members to help us grow, to help us strengthen our brand, not only for Singapore, but globally as well. So that's my takes about, going forward, where we're going to take SBPW. Thank you so much.
Finally, we want to share the vision of several more of our members and attendees in this webinar who have put their words in our chat. We begin with Linka Stasna from BPW Czechia in Europe. I think we must start doing international projects together. We are experienced in projects financed from EU, Visegrad, and other funds. It helps us to offer more education for women and makes our organization more visible. It also gives us an opportunity to cover administrative costs. Next, Giuliana Galantino from FIDAPA or BPW in Italy. I think that using online platforms to discuss our action is an opportunity for everyone. This health situation has allowed us to appreciate this new form of meeting. Surely we need to build projects and share concrete actions. We are an international organization, but we often waste our energies. We have excellent human resources and we encourage their active participation. In conclusion, we need to meet and discuss our future together. This is my vision for the future. Lana Muasher from BPW in Jordan. I am a woman leader, but I'm also partially sighted. So I feel that we need to think of leaders with disabilities. Mariella Camilleri, BPW Malta. In my opinion, the vision of the Future for BPW is a uniform and global approach towards our key programs. We should use the power of the whole organization. For example, if we are working on the Equal Pay program, we should have the participation of the international as a force. We should also make use of true technology to create a web around the globe of a network of women who together empower other women around the world through mentoring programs. These should be for both the women of today and those of the future. And finally, Angela Tomasos, BPW Australia. To remain relevant, we need to be trusted. We need to provide platforms that help elevate outcomes for all women. This creates advocacy and trust. The power of the BPW brand is women identifying with this. Thanks to all of our panelists today. Thanks also to all of our commenters, and thanks to all of you who have attended this meeting today. We really appreciate your participation, your attendance, your support, and your ideas. And we hope to see you in another webinar very soon.